Welcome to Cafe Excellence, and this is part 3 of our cupping experience. This is the part where we're actually going to do a tasting. We're going to cup the coffee. Cupping coffee is the process of taking coffee grounds that are wetted, the surface is broken, the grounds are removed, and we're waiting for it to cool. Once it cools, we take a little bit of the coffee, we put it on our spoon, and we slurp. And when we slurp the coffee, we're checking for several different things. The first thing is acidity. Now, acidity in coffee is not a bad thing. It's not a stomach thing. It's a flavor thing. Acidity is like a lemon burst when you bite into a lemon or a blueberry. So the first thing we're looking for is acidity. The second thing is body. Body is the mouthfeel. How thick is that coffee taste? And that tells us the strength of the coffee. It's typically known as the strength of the coffee is the body of the coffee. And then the third thing is what does it taste like? And this is where we're using our nose to actually taste the different flavors. Once we decide on what flavors we're tasting, whether it's a garden vegetable, whether it's a flower, whether it's a fruit, and then we can actually describe the coffee better. So our first process is to take the coffee and slurp it. So we're going to make a little slurping noise because we're scraping it across our tongue. Just like that. So now the team's going to cup the coffees, and the first one we're going to start with is the Congo coffee, and then we're going to do the Sumatra and then the French roast. So we're going to take, now you do have a choice of whether you want to spit out the coffee or drink the coffee. It's a personal preference. Watch out for the drips.
I'm good. This is the right temperature too to taste.
It's a good temperature.
Yeah.
I'm getting that chocolate that you talked about earlier.
Oh yeah.
The garden vegetables there. Very greeny. Green beans, green peas.
Nice body. I want to see how it compares to Sumatra.
Yes.
That the Sumatra has such.
Yes. Now very low acidity.
Yes.
But a bit.
Yeah.
Just a small bit of acidity, but not much to really talk about. So we would say it's a low acidity, medium body coffee. Agreed?
Right. What do you taste? I almost taste peanuts.
I get the syrupy texture.
Yes.
That we spoke about as well.
It's nice and sweet.
Yeah.
There is a sweetness.
It's not a heavy body, but there is body there.
There's body there.
You know, a lot of the times when I taste a heavy body, I get that buttery.
Yes,
I
that
don't
coating.
get that
No.
quite here, but there is still more so than a regular. You know.
I would agree.
Are you tasting peanuts in the shell? Try it again.
I gotta say, majority of coffees that I taste, I get a hint of that almost every time. Yeah.
And that's probably part of the roasting process. Yeah, I get a little bit of nuts.
Yeah.
But I get more of a softer nut.
Right, you're right. It's like that coalition between roasting coffee and roasting peanuts,
Yes.
where you get that same, you know, your brain tells you this is
Something.
similar.
It's cooking in its own aroma,
Right,
and we have to remember that.
right.
So the next one is the Sumatra. This is the micro lot.
Definitely body. Wow.
Yeah.
Very different.
Now this is quite different than the other one.
No acidity.
No acidity.
There's nothing.
It's a very thick mouthfeel, so it's a very, what we would call a heavy bodied coffee.
Yeah.
Flavor wise, I do taste like a potato, garden vegetable potato like flavor to it.
Earthy.
Earthy, very earthy. There's a hint of floral.
There's something in
There's
there.
something in there.
I don't know if it's floral or
Fruit. Yeah, it might be like a berry fruit.
Something is in it.
It's something interesting there as well, because you know, like every fruit and vegetable starts out as a flower.
As a flower,
Yes.
right?
You know?
And that flower most of the time is a jasmine smelling flower.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's something that I've noticed, like in my home gardening and things, where you start to see, you
Right.
start to do it yourself and actually like understand the process of growing.
Right.
And
Right.
it kind of takes you to the root of the coffee
Right.
and the taste and the characteristics
And where it gets it from,
Right.
And then the last one is the French roast. We're really proud of our French roast coffee because it's considered a French roasted coffee because of the roast color, but it doesn't have that aftertaste and that lingering charredness that most French roasts have. That caramel really comes out in this one. It's a good caramel smell.
Whenever I taste a French roast, I always get that cooked coffee taste.
Yes.
No matter what. But I get the undertones of what you were speaking of before as far as the caramel and the vanilla.
Yeah.
Vanilla's there.
It's really there.
Vanilla
It's
bean.
It's not like roasted too dark that you won't
lose all that, right.
roast it.
Right.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. So this was our cupping and this was our tasting. We thank you for joining us and we look forward to sharing other coffees with you.